My name is Gillian Steeno, and I am the Society Survey Liaison and Survey Research Assistant with the Arkansas Archaeological Survey. And I'm also on the Next Generation Humanities Committee with Humanities Arkansas. And we're doing a short series about how to get involved in the humanities and career pathways to the humanities. And I want to welcome my friend Noelle King, just to introduce herself a little bit, and then we'll get into one of the questions that we're going to ask her.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Gillian, for having me here today. My name is Noelle King, and I am an SOI qualified archaeologist. That means Secretary of the Interior qualified archaeologist, and I work for the federal government. And currently, with my role, I work directly with local and state partners to complete projects and do project reviews prior to mainly construction work being completed. So I'm very excited to be here today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Noelle. Your job is very cool, very important. So we'll get into that in just a minute. So just to start off, what's the most rewarding part of your job or your work in general?
I would say the most rewarding part is having those close connections with stakeholders from local and state areas. So being able to not just work with my coworkers within, the federal government, but also with the people who are directly impacted by the work that is being done. So getting to help any action prior to being completed have a larger view of what sort of impact it will have on cultural and historic resources in the area, and making sure that those resources are being properly stewarded, both by the people that are completing the work, the federal government, and then again those local stakeholders. So feeling like the work that I do has some sort of real world impact, because I feel in general, or maybe not in general, maybe that's a little too broad, but oftentimes I think it's easy for us in humanities to feel like we're kind of sectioned off into our field. What we do doesn't necessarily have as much impact on day-to-day or the community, or even larger entities versus, something like civil engineering. But in reality, the work we do is really important on a variety of levels, from historic preservation's kind of typical, but allowing people to become stakeholders and stay stakeholders in their community. And then also following federal laws and regulations that are, these policies designed to propagate consideration of the resources and of what work is being completed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely that real world impact and getting to interact with local communities and other agencies is very cool. And a lot of people in archaeology, don't necessarily have experience with that, but it's one of the most important and practical parts of archaeology. And then just in short, can you talk a little bit about your academic pathway into this position? So what kind of degrees do you have? What kind of experience? Just for some general background.
Yeah, sure. So my undergraduate was a bit of a hodgepodge. I got a bachelor's degree that focused in economics, sociology, and history. And after that, I kind of kicked around for a little bit, tried a few different things, was a librarian for a while, and ultimately ended up working for the state of Arkansas as an interpreter at a historic site, where did program interpretation and historic preservation. And that ultimately led me to meeting my grad school advisor and going to the University of Arkansas, where I completed my master's degree in anthropology with a focus in archaeology. And from there, I actually hopped straight into my current position. And I would say, one, it's definitely a matter of luck, but having some prior experience in historic preservation and working with people, in this case in the form of interpretation, was really key to having the ability to apply for the roles that I did after college or after graduate school, and ultimately ending up with my current position. One thing I think with the humanities, it's better to, of course, have more experience than not, but also having a pretty broad range of experiences, and like background, history, jobs, because within the field, whether that be archeology, historic preservation, any of those kind of areas, you don't realize until you get into it just how much of it is meeting people and having opportunities just kind of present themselves. So
Mhm.
I would say one key to my success, a really major component, was putting myself in those situations where I could make those connections and meet those
Mhm.
people.
Yeah, definitely networking and getting a wide range of experiences throughout your academic career, but also, through just jobs in the past as well, making those connections and keeping in touch with those people is super important. So thank you
Mhm.
so much for your time, Noelle. I really appreciate it. And we're super excited to continue this
Mhm.
Humanities Snippet series. So thank you again so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.